In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, a wealthy man did something unforgivable. He abandoned his newborn twins in the icy waters of a secluded stream. But what happened next would become a tale whispered for generations. Not because of cruelty, but because of courage. What happened next? If you love stories that warm the heart and restore your faith in kindness, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Let us know where you're watching from. Now, let's dive into a story that began with tragedy, but ended with miracles. The morning sun peeked through a thin veil of mist as the world around the river remained silent, peaceful. A sleek black car rolled to a stop on the muddy bank. The engine cut off, and a tall man stepped out, dressed in a tailored suit, his face cold, expressionless. He walked toward the edge of the water, carrying a small woven basket. From inside came soft cries. 2 tiny babies, wrapped in red blankets, their faces scrunched up against the chill air. Without a word, without a tear, he placed the basket on the surface of the river. It floated for a moment before he gave it a gentle push. The current took hold, pulling it slowly away from the shore. The man stood there, watching, unmoved. He believed this was the end of his problem, a secret buried in the water. But just beyond the trees, unseen by him, another witness stood silently observing. A white mare, strong and proud, had seen everything. Her ears twitched at the sound of the crying babies. Her eyes, deep and intelligent, followed the basket as it drifted further into the river. She didn't hesitate. With powerful strides, she entered the water. The cold bit at her legs, but she pressed forward undeterred. As the basket began to sink, the mare reached it just in time. With careful precision, she nudged it upward with her nose and guided it back to land. The babies cried, weak but alive. The mare gently nosed the basket onto the grassy bank and stood over them protectively. She knew they needed help, and she knew exactly where to go. The home of Marcos and Elena, Rivera sat quietly at the edge of a small ranch. They were kind people, hard-working and loving, though their hearts carried a quiet sadness. They longed for children, but fate had been cruel, leaving them empty-handed after years of trying. Elena had once dreamed of becoming a nurse, but when opportunities dried up, she found joy in caring for animals, especially Luna, the mysterious white mare who had come to them injured one stormy night. Luna had healed and stayed, becoming more than a pet. She was family. That morning, as Elena hung laundry on the line, she heard a familiar sound. Luna's soft whinny. She turned, expecting to see the mare grazing nearby. Instead, she saw her trotting toward the house, and in her mouth, a basket. Marcos. Elena called, her voice trembling. Come quickly. Marcos rushed out, boots thudding against the damp earth. When he saw the basket, his breath caught in his throat. Inside, wrapped in soaked blankets, were 2 crying infants. They're so small, Elena whispered, tears already forming in her eyes. They brought the babies inside, warming them by the fire, wrapping them in dry cloths. Elena worked with steady hands, her nursing instincts kicking in. They'll be okay, she said softly, cradling one in her arms. But someone must be looking for them. Marcos nodded, then noticed something, a golden medallion tucked beneath the blankets. He turned it over in his hand. I've seen this symbol before, he murmured. It belongs to Rafael Ortega. Elena's face paled. Rafael Ortega, one of the wealthiest men in the region, known for his ruthless business dealings and icy demeanor. What would he be doing here? She asked. Marcos frowned. And why would he leave these babies in the river? They looked down at the twins, sleeping now, safe in each other's arms. Something wasn't right. Later that day, a knock came at the door. 2 men in suits stood outside, their expressions unreadable. We're investigating a missing item, one said. A gold medallion. Have you seen anything unusual? Elena and Marcos exchanged glances. No, Marcos replied calmly. We haven't seen anything. Just then, one of the babies let out a soft cry. The men's eyes narrowed. That sounds like a baby, the second man said suspiciously. Luna, still near the window, let out a low, warning snort. It's the radio, Elena said quickly. I enjoy listening to stories while I work. The men hesitated, clearly unconvinced. But Luna chose that moment to stomp her hoof and snort loudly, drawing their attention outside. "Your horse seems agitated," one of them remarked. "She doesn't like strangers," Marco said, keeping his tone even. "Maybe it's best if you go." After a tense pause, the men left. As soon as the car disappeared down the road, Elena exhaled sharply. "They'll be back," she said. "And next time they might have a warrant." Marcos nodded. "We need a plan." Elena looked at the medallion again, then at the babies. "There's something strange going on," she said, "and I think we need help." They decided to visit an old friend, Senora Beatriz, a wise woman who lived on the outskirts of town. Beatriz welcomed them warmly, her sharp eyes taking in everything. When she saw the babies, her expression changed. "These are Elena's children," she said quietly. Elena gasped. "You know them?" Beatriz nodded solemnly. "Their mother was my niece. She came to me months ago, pregnant and terrified. Raphael promised her the world, then betrayed her when she became too much of a threat. He tried to erase her." Elena's hands trembled. "Is she? She didn't survive childbirth," Beatriz said, her voice heavy. "But she left instructions. She wanted her children hidden until the truth could be revealed." Marcos looked at the twins. "Then we can't turn them in." "No," Beatriz agreed. "Not yet, but we must act carefully. Raphael is dangerous." Over the following weeks, life settled into a new rhythm. The twins, named Mateo and Diego, grew stronger. Luna never left their side, often standing guard while they slept. But danger was closing in. One evening, as the sky darkened and thunder rumbled in the distance, lights appeared on the horizon. Raphael had found them. Beatriz, ever resourceful, had a plan. "We'll use the tunnels," she said. "Only Elena and I ever knew about them," with Luna leading the way. The group fled into the forest, escaping through a hidden cave system that led to an old estate, Villa Rosario. It was there, among dusty rooms and forgotten memories, that the final confrontation would take place. Rain poured as Raphael arrived at Villa Rosario, flanked by his men. But inside, Beatrice stood firm beside the grand piano. "You thought you could erase them," she said, her voice calm but unwavering. "But love finds a way." From behind the curtain, Elena and Marcos emerged, holding the twins tightly. Raphael's face twisted with fury. "You dare defy me," he growled. Beatrice smiled. "Yes," she said simply, "because justice has finally come. Hidden recordings, documents, and testimonies have been gathered, all thanks to Elena's planning, Luna's courage, and the unbreakable bond between those who chose to do what was right. Raphael was arrested that night, and the twins? They remained with the only family they'd ever known. Years passed. Villa Rosario, once filled with secrets, now overflowed with laughter, music, and love. Mateo and Diego thrived, growing into curious, joyful boys with natural talent for music, just like their mother. Luna still roamed the grounds, older now, but no less majestic. She watched over the children, always nearby when they played. And every evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, the sound of a piano echoed through the halls, sometimes played by Beatriz, sometimes by the boys, but sometimes it played by itself, a melody that seemed to whisper, "I'm still here." Moral: love takes many forms. Sometimes it comes in the shape of a stranger's kindness, sometimes in the silence of guardian's gaze, and sometimes in the music of a mother's soul. No matter how far we fall, love will always find a way to lift us back up. If you enjoyed this emotional journey of courage, mystery, and hope, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from. Until next time, stay kind, believe in miracles, and remember, love never truly leaves us.